bestaan van afgesperde strate, komplekse en spog landgoedere word. Gautengse hoof van stadsbeplanning sluit by ons aan om te verduidelik wat die plaaslike regering wil doen aan die apartheidsera stadspatrone, soos die premier dit beskryf. Trek komplekse laer of is dit eenvoudig net 'n reaksie op misdaad? Gautengse premier David Makhura het die afgelope week gepraat van hoe daar strenger toelatingsvereistes gaan wees vir komplekse, nuwe komplekse wat ontwikkel en ons wil natuurlik ook weet of dit enige implikasies inhou vir bestaande komplekse. So, die Gautengse hoof van stadsbeplanning Rashid Seedat is here. Rashid, thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Goeiemôre.
Rashid, does this basically mean that there's going to be a quota system for complexes in future? Is that oversimplifying the issue?
What we're really trying to deal with is the legacy of the past and also what's happened over the last 21 odd years since democracy. So the patterns that we've seen of segregation and separation that was wrought on by apartheid, still exist on the urban landscape. And really what the Premier was saying is that he's looking towards a new vision, a 2030 vision to transform space in Gauteng.
This is a broad South African problem that it's not only limited to Johannesburg. But as soon as you start telling people that they're living in apartheid-era enclaves, they start getting defensive because they're saying, we're only putting these walls up because we are feeling threatened by crime. What is the problem that we're trying to solve practically for individual families? What are you trying to change?
Well, I think that the Premier's quotation mustn't be taken out of context. What it is how do we create, I think, much more livable spaces, places where people can walk around, where they feel safe, where people cycle to work and so on. It's that kind of idea that informs the new paradigm.
Proponents of complexes point to a map that we will put on screen now that has red outlines of where these complexes are. They are not central as per the Premier's speech. They're actually quite on the fringes. They're outside the highway, for example, in Johannesburg, in Fourways, and on the West Rand there's a bit of a pocketed development in Bryanston. And those people who stay there would say that I can cycle within my community, I can walk, I can have freer access to public spaces within that gated community. I will bring down the walls naturally as soon as I have the same safety outside that I do have inside. Is addressing it not perhaps rather a case of facing the fact that crime is an issue?
No, absolutely, and I don't think anyone denies that. Crime is indeed an issue, and I think we all face it, and we have to protect ourselves and our families. Part of our agenda is that can we have something called, for example, inclusionary housing. This is a concept that is very popular in the US, for example, where new developers are asked, for example, to set aside X number of different kind of classes of housing, so some affordable housing, maybe more middle and then upper end, so that you have a mixed income kind of development. Because I think, that's part of the issue.
When you say mixed income, will Anna Matebula from Mamelodi be able to go buy a 2-room house in a Waterkloof complex?
Well, in theory, yes, but of course there are many constraints to it because Mrs. Matebula may not be able to afford very expensive levies that are charged. So we'll have to see how that actually gets managed, whether there's some level of cross-subsidization, etc. We will open up a conversation about how to begin to integrate those settlements within the broader urban fabric, and everyone will be part of the debate.
And existing developments? Are they under threat?
No, absolutely not. I don't think that there's anywhere in the speech that actually says it. If anything, the point the Premier was emphasizing was that he really wanted to wants government as a whole, including municipalities, to accelerate the developments because the approvals of those developments, so that investors don't just sit on an investment which is taking many years to get finalized. Fixing the urban system maybe is the issue. Is that there are a wide range of things of interventions that one needs to put into place, and one of them is inclusionary housing. Okay, it's not the
only answer.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. I wish we could chat for longer. This is a very interesting issue. En ek is seker daar's baie mense daar buite wat baie opinies hieroor het. Wat dink jy? Is die bestaan van komplekse en afgesperde strate en spog landgoedere besig om ons net verder te polariseer? Tweet by Netwerk 24 met die hitsmerk top stories of e-pos nuus by netwerk24.com.